Hello, hello, Mimi Makers. A wonderful morning to all of you. I hope that you're able to join me on this sunny Ottawa morning. I hope that it's sunny where you are as well. And if it's not, then at least you get to watch this video with me and look at some pretty fabrics and new things that came in for whomever who is joining me live. If you want to give me a little comment, a little thumbs up, so I know who's here. Hisai's here. Hey, I haven't seen her in a while. It's going to be good to have you back soon. And but if you also just want to sit back and relax, that's totally cool. And if you're watching it recorded, you can still comment on this video, and we'll answer any questions you might have along the way. I'm just going to give everybody a few minutes because it does take a moment for all of the notifications to pop in, that we are live. I know this is earlier than usual, so maybe some people out west might still be sleeping. So I hope you're not mad at me for waking you all up so early. France is here. Anybody else joining me? I don't know if Facebook sent out. I don't see any Facebookers here, so maybe the notification didn't go out yet. I know last time my mom said she got the notification after the video was over. So I guess we'll get started regardless, because recorded is also a great option for the video, right? So what am I going to start with? I have so many things to show you today. So I will start with the yarns just because they're right in front of me. And of course, I don't want to stab myself with the needles of the things that I want to show you here. So number one, and it's actually the title picture, is the new Regia Tweed sock yarn. It's a 4-ply sock yarn that just came in, and I've waited so long for this. Like, they were on back order for so long because it's probably one of the most popular ones in Europe as well. So I'm glad that I finally got my hands on 7 colors, and they're all fantastic. I love. Oh, there's somebody from Sudbury. Oh, Tanya from Sudbury. Hi, Tanya. And yeah, what I really like about the tweed, and you can probably see this really well on the yellow, on the golden yellow, is that it has these little speckles of different colors of yarns that are kind of wrapped around the yarn, and then it makes this really nice. This one, you can see this one has a lot of colors in it, and then it makes this really nice tweed effect, and I really like them. These are all really hard wearing, and I'm just going to read this to you. You can wash this in your washing machine at 40 degrees Celsius, and you can tumble dry it on low. I mean, that makes for a nice, warm, cozy, and easy to care for sock or mitten, or you could even make sweaters out of it. So I have seen people make sweaters out of it. You might want to double it up just to make it an 8-ply, or you're just going to knit for a while because a 4-ply is a thinner yarn. But you can, so it does say for socks you need 100 grams, so that would be 1 skein. And for a sweater up to size 40, you need approximately 500 grams. That gives you a little bit an eyeball. I am definitely going to attempt one day to make a sweater out of this, because I think it's going to be a really nice, delicate sweater. And if I do some color work along the top, I think this is going to look really beautiful. Having a really hard time figuring out which color to choose, so I'm going to have to knit up all of them. I did start with the petrol, so I do want to show you this. So there's this pattern. Oh, where did I put it? I brought my board. My board has like the 6 main colors, so this one does not have the denim on it, but we do have a denim blue as well. And then it comes, like, each of your sock yarns that you'll buy from us will come with a printed copy of these socks. So now this sock is sized for a size 42 to 44 foot size, and for big calves like that. But I really like, so they're too big for me, but I love the cable on it. So I read the pattern, and essentially it's just a repeat of 28. It's a multiple of 28, and the original starts casting on with a 90. So what I did is I just did a repeat of 3 times 28, which is 72. So and I'm just making like a regular mid-calf sock out of this and see how nice this looks. And this is going to be perfect. So I'm going to put it on my arm so that you can see how nicely this stretches. So this is going to be nice because when you have 70, so usually I knit with 60 stitches in the round for myself, but when you have a cable pattern like that, it does pull your stitches together quite a bit. So the 72 is actually perfect. This would make a nice sweater too. But so the 72 stitches in the round, and then I just repeat the 28 stitch pattern until I get to my heel. And then I do my boomerang heel, or whichever heel is your preferred method. And then you just keep knitting this repeat until you reach your desired length, like so 2 inches before the toe, and then you finish it. So I will include this pattern to anyone that buys the yarn tomorrow. And if you have any questions on how I did my sock, I'm more than happy to help you out. So this is the petrol, and you can see like these little speckles all throughout, which, you know, they show up better in a picture. So I'll definitely post about this later as well. And I was knitting those with a 2.5 millimeter needle. Next up, while we're with the yarns, I do want to show you the Scap, which is probably the bulkiest yarn we've had so far. And I do have a little chart for it. So the Scap is this cozy ball of goodness, and it is by Woolly Hugs. It is a 90% merino wool yarn, 10% polyamide, and it is a netting yarn. So the polyamide is the netting of the yarn. So if you've never, I have a little piece here. So if you can see this, so there is a netting, which is the base structure of this yarn, and then the merino is wrapped around a single strand of the polyamide, and then it's essentially already knitted into almost like what's an I-cord, and then you knit with that, which makes this really nice and elastic and super fluffy. So and this is mulesing free yarn, which all of the yarns that we have are that. If you're not familiar with what, and it says it right on there, mulesing free. Not sure if you're familiar with the term and what that means. So if you're maybe new to the knitting world, you may not have come across that. Basically, it means that there used to be a process, or probably still is a process, when shearing sheep. Sheep do have their very commonly get an infection around their behind. It is a skin infection that they get, and in order to treat that, I wouldn't call it treating, but it is a very common practice to just cut off, like cut into the skin and just cut off the skin with it so that the infection doesn't happen. But then there's, you know, it's very cruel. They do that without anesthesia, and we do want to not have that kind of wool where this practice is still common. So mulesing free, so mulesing is the process of cutting off that skin. This is mulesing free, which means that this comes from sheep that were not treated like that. They were sheared without any harm, and so this is really important to us that this is mulesing free wool. So this the Scap, let's go back to the name. So Scap comes from scarf and cap. So each of these balls of yarn will make one scarf and a cap in the same color gradient. So this is a really cool color gradient. It's not like a continuous color gradient. It starts, so you knit it from the outside in. Here's the start. The start would be with those colors. So you start with the colors, and then in this case, you get a gray ombre gradient, and then you get the colors again, gray ombre gradient, colors again. So how you knit this is you start with your scarf. So you start at the colored end, and then your the gray ombre would be your centerpiece, and you knit it until you get to the next color piece, and then that is the other end of your scarf. And when you're done with that color piece, you stop it. So then your scarf will be uniformly colored, and then if you, out of the rest, what you have left, you make a hat, it will have that same coloring. So I have a picture of it here, and I did post these online too. So basically this just shows half of the scarf, but basically you start with the color, and then you have your ombre, and then it will look the same on the other side, and then you can still make a full hat looking like this. And there's all these beautiful colors, and all of these, this chart is online as well, so you can take a look, but definitely take a look at it in the shop as well. You can also make things that are not scarves and hats. And to prove that to you, I knitted up a sweater. So it's almost, I almost finished it. I wanted to wear it today for you, but I haven't, like, I was very close, but I didn't finish it. So again, I started at the top and then I just continued. So for me, so I have a little bit less of this because I knitted some swatches, and then I just, I kept them because they looked so pretty. So they were not part of my sweater. So this is a little bit thinner, but then that made the top of my sweater. And then this is a top down knitted sweater. So now I get, which would usually be the center of your scarf. I got all of this. So the arms, the sleeves up to here, and then I continued knitting. And then I got, I think here, sorry, here is when, about here somewhere is where the first skein stopped. And then, because you need 2 skeins for a sweater. And then I just, in the back, because the back is longer, in the back, I just, what I did, because it stopped right in these colors. So I started with my other skein, and then got this nice gradient to go through the back. And then I tried to somewhat match it with the front, even though the colors are a little bit different, but I mean, looks really nice. I just nailed lint. And I made this a short sleeve sweater. So I added the color band here because it would be hard to match the ombre, but I would have more than, I think I have another 2 of these left. So I could have knitted long sleeves. The reason why I did this in a short sleeve is because I like layering, and I want to be able to knit this with to wear this with a fitted denim jacket or something like that. And it would be too bulky at the elbows if I did that. So this is my sweater, and once it's finished and blocked, I will show you the finished product. So this took 2 skeins, and I can probably still make a hat because I did the short sleeve, 2 skeins of the Woolly Hugs Scap. So that is the yarns for today. Now let's get into the fabrics. All right, so we have some cozies coming this week. Number 1 is this really cool quilted knit. And, you know, we've had quilted knits before, but this one has a different pattern. So this one has a herringbone chevron type quilted pattern. So it's quilted from both sides. So you can see the stitching where they did the quilting. The back side is a plain orange, and the front side is almost a tweed looking. It's like it has like these little speckles in it. I mean, you can take either side as the front, but both of them will be orange. And then they have a batting in between, which makes this really, really warm. So this has some stretch, but not a ton. So about maybe 20% stretch. So something like this is better for something that's not super fitted. So maybe a sweater like this, the page hoodie would be a great option for this one. And we have this in 4 colors. So that is the cinnamon orange. Then we have the denim blue, also with the nice little speckles. I'll just open it. It's denim blue on the inside and speckled blue on the outside. We have a nice light pink, and pink always comes with speckles and like a little bit of stripes, if you can see that. It's actually a really cool effect. I do like that it has a lot of these. You see that? And it's always with the pinks, I find. I don't know why they turn out. Maybe it's more obvious where they knitted in those little speckles. But so you have like speckles and almost like color pooling stripes on the pink. And then I think they all have it. It's just more obvious on the pink. And then we have this beautiful army green, again with these speckles on the outside and the green on the inside. We have some other sweats that came in, and I adore them. And I might share this with you if you're fast enough, because I didn't get any of some of the cozies from last week, so I might have to get me some of this. So this is a brushed sweat. And how awesome is this? This is so beautiful. It's like an extra large heart print, black and white. I mean, that's very classy, I think. I would love like a sweater dress out of this. So now with this one, this is the kind that is not very stretchy. So look at this. It barely has any stretch, which I really like because then it also doesn't stretch out. So you do have to be mindful of that. I did make a note of that in the product. So for this, you do want to make either an oversized hoodie. You could do the hoodie dress by the assembly line, because the hoodie dress by the assembly line is actually a woven pattern. So this would lend itself really, really well to that. Like we have made it in a knit and it's totally possible, but this basically almost combines the best of two worlds. Like it doesn't have too much stretch or barely any, and then it would make a really nice structured dress for that. Or if you do not want to do something like that, you could do something with a zipper in the front, which makes sure that you can get in and out. You can make a cardigan, things like that. Just anything that is not too fitted that you have to try and squeeze yourself in is going to be perfect in this fabric. Next up is this cool guy. And I think my my little one will absolutely appreciate that. Yeah, I'm glad that Tanya had the same idea as me with the assembly line hoodie. Would be really, really cool. All right, so this one also brushed sweat. Also, this one has a little bit more stretch, but again, probably better for something slightly oversized or joggers, or something with a zipper like this guy, the Frederick, which essentially it's very similar to the Danielle, just the Danielle is a long hoodie, and this one is just a straight cut hip length hoodie. So this one has a black background and it has all these neon rainbow hands on there. And I think this is really fun. We're seeing a lot of neons these days, and this will go well with all of our neon French terries and ribbings that we have, and trims, all of the good things. Ooh, need to find some space. Then I found this one. This one came late to the party because we had the twin of this last week, just in a different colorway. Last week's crystal print was a blue and teal and green color, and now this is more my color. It has some fuchsias and purples and still hints of orange and green in there, which I really appreciate just because it pulls it all together. And yes, it has this crystalline structure, and this has more stretch, so this is great for your usual fitted hoodies. And I really, really like the scale of these crystals. I think it's going to be really fun. Are they just hand gestures or sign language? That is a very good question. I was wondering that too. So I just called it hands. As far as I could tell, there wasn't anything offensive on there, but I'm gonna let maybe somebody actually knows sign language or knows hand gestures better than I do. More than welcome to comment or let me know if there's anything on there that has some sort of a meaning. I mean, I'm looking at it. I think that, okay, so from what my children told me when they were doing something, I think this one means I love you. So maybe it is sign language. I don't know what the other ones mean, but as far as I know, this one means I love you. And again, don't take what I say for granted. That's just what I heard from my children when they had like a lesson on sign language at school, and that's what they told me. So that's as far as my education on this goes. All right, so we had these two. Then I want to show you these bears. So these are jerseys now that I'm showing you, and I really like these colors here as well. Lots of vibrant colors coming in right now. So this is a black background with these geometric bears, and then it has all sorts of letter on there. So from what I can decipher, this looks like it spells polar and ice. Does it? I see. And I'm pretty sure you can make many other words out of this, but I really like this monochrome look, and my almost 9-year-old likes these kinds of prints now, just because he says they're more cool than some of the other things. So I think he has outgrown some other styles, and so he says that this is more cool. So I'm sure that you have some people in your life that will also be able to tell you what's in and out these days right now. And then we have the same print, but with a fuchsia berry purpley color. So the bear heads are in more of a lavender purple, and then the letters are in a nice bright fuchsia. And this is a jersey, so great for t-shirts, dresses, leggings, long sleeve shirts, hoodie linings. I also like to often use prints like that, just making a plain sweater, if somebody likes a plain sweater, and then just putting it in the hoodie linings or the pockets to have that little peekaboo moment. And then we have these beauties, and I just, as I was listing them, found out that these unicorns glow in the dark. So it's really fun because you know how they did this glow outline. So I thought that already the graphics were really well done, but these actually do glow in the dark. So it's really fun. And they have little star constellations on the inside of them. I don't know if they're real constellations. You'll have to consult an expert on that. Yeah, there's two colorways of this. So this is the black and blue colorway of this jersey. And then we have the purple and black colorway of the glow in the dark unicorns. And I'll just show you real quick how much this fabric stretches. So it has a good amount of stretch. It'll also be nice for PJs, you know, since you want to look at the glow in the dark stuff. So it might be nice to make a little PJ or lounge set for someone, maybe a nice little Christmas present. You know, it's never too early to plan for that. And then last but not least, we have two brand new Rebecca prints in. Number one is the Rabbit Garden. And we all know that Rebecca is amazing at illustrating nature. So the trees, you know, it reminds me very much of the forest animals, which was one of the first ones that we had. But these are new trees, but you can definitely tell her style. So there's the trees. My favorite one is, where is it? Oh, it's coming up here. I love this one. This blue one with these beautiful leaves is absolutely gorgeous. And it has all these cutie rabbits hopping around in there. So this is printed on a jersey, organic jersey, and it's lovely. And then we have one more, just a slightly larger scale. And this is the Moon Garden by Rebecca. It's a slightly larger scale print. So you have a black and blue background with a couple of constellations back there, which I'm pretty sure are real constellations because Rebecca always keeps it real. And then we have these beautiful flowers. I wish I knew all of the names of these, which I don't, other than the dandelion. But I'm pretty sure they're all real flowers that exist. And I'm more than happy to read all your comments on what these flowers might be that you can see on there. There's also some moss. There's a moss. It's so beautiful. She did choose some really beautiful ones, and there's a white one here. There's another one here. Lots to discover on these prints. Also a jersey print, this one. So I think, oh, now I forgot to bring the scissors. I had these little scissors that I really wanted to show you. They are listing tomorrow. I might have to do a reel on it, how cute they are. Like I have it in my little knitting kit, but it's like little folding scissors, and they're rose gold, and they come with a little case. They're also listing tomorrow. I'll do a little reel on it, on how they work. They're absolutely fantastic because I do like that I can fold them down and the blades are not exposed because, you know, children. Anyways, I hope that you have found something that inspires you to make more things, whether it's knitting, crocheting, sewing, whatever it is that you like to make. All of these pretties are going to be available tomorrow at 10:30 a.m. Eastern Standard Time. If you have a Mimi account, you can already put them on your wish list and then purchase them tomorrow when they're available. Thank you so much for watching this video, and feel free to post any more comments, and I'll read them all. Bye for now.